Okay, welcome to today's grammar lesson, although it is also a vocabulary lesson. If you learn a lot of strong adjectives, also known as ungradable adjectives, it really adds a lot of colour to your language. It adds a lot of fluency as well to the way you use English. And so please do learn a lot of these ungradable adjectives today. As I say, they're also called strong adjectives. Here are gradable adjectives. They're sometimes called weak adjectives. But gradable means that you can use it in the comparative. Yeah, you can say more tired, less tired, hungrier, yeah, not so hungry, more sore, worse. Obviously, some adjectives have an irregular comparative form, so be aware of that. Worse, you can have very sure. Well, these two I want to put as a special case. In fact, I'm going to put them in red just because I think these two are different from everything else we're looking at on the board. And it's very hard to say if they're gradable or ungradable. They seem to be right in the middle and you can do anything you like with them. So all of the gradable adjectives, you can add a more, and that's what we mean by gradable. They come in grades, whereas ungradable, something is either starving or it's not starving. Something's agonising or it's not agonising. Something's hilarious or it's not hilarious. So you can't have this more hilarious, but you can have funnier, yeah, funnier or more amusing. Okay, so that's the main difference. But as you've already found out, some words are not so easy to put into one or the other box, okay? And so the reason why we're studying this, and I'm going to make this as brief as possible so that you get the idea straight away, is that gradable adjectives use the word very and some other words as well, which actually show grades, yeah? A bit means, you know, a bit of something. So it's connected to this word, gradable, a bit, a little, slightly. Yeah, and so all of these adverbs here, they're sometimes called intensifiers. You can use these with gradable adjectives only. Yeah, quite is usable with both, by the way. Quite is usable with both, but it has a different meaning. If you say quite big, it means fairly big. Yeah, where's big? Down here. Say quite big, it means fairly big. It's quite is here, yeah, right in the middle. It's not a bit, a little, or slightly, and it's not incredibly, extremely, very. It's in the middle of these intensifying expressions. And some other ones in the middle are somewhat, rather, fairly, reasonably. But please only use these words with gradable adjectives, okay? These ones, and these ones, okay? Don't use any of these words with the ungradable adjectives. The only one you can use is quite. But when you say it was quite abominable, or he was quite brilliant, I must admit it doesn't work with all of these ungradable adjectives, just some of them it seems to work with. But when you say it was quite excruciating, it means it was absolutely excruciating. Okay, and absolutely is the word that I want you to use with ungradable adjectives, because absolutely works with all of these, it seems to me. It works with all of them. I can't say the same about completely, totally, or even utterly. With some of them, it won't sound quite right. But with most of them, you can use utterly. And with some of them, you can use completely and totally. And with a few, you can use almost and virtually. You can say virtually penniless, for example, or I was almost broke, certainly. And largely, mainly and primarily, I use with some, but not with all, okay?